time we talk about Guardians of Hoole, the capture. So, we haven't done a book review on this channel in a very, 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 very long time. The last one I did, I'm not sure how long it was, but we're starting again, and we're starting off with the Guardians of Hoole, the capture, book 1 out of 15. There's 15 books, which is crazy. I really like this book. It's good. It kind of reminds me of some other books I've read. However, this one is with owls, as you can see. It's written by Kathryn Lasky, and this book has 220 pages. It goes on if you want to continue reading, but like the real story ends around like 219. So this book is about owls, as you can tell. There's on the cover and on the other cover, and it's basically about this main character owl, a barn owl named Soren, his big brother Claude, and his little sister Eglantine, and his mother and father, and their nanny / housekeeper, a snake, Miss Pilwitcher. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm just gonna call her Miss P. She's a blind snake that helps around when the parents are out hunting and stuff, like mouses or whatever else owls eat. A vole, I learned in the book. They also eat that, and pellets. And wait, actually no, whatever. Anyways, though, they don't eat snakes because their housekeeper is a snake, and they find it like disrespectful and stuff. And even though Miss P says, it's okay, I don't mind, they're still like, no, we're gonna respect you, and we won't eat snakes. So the story starts off with Soren realizing he's having a baby sister, and they're realizing they're having a baby, but then figure out they're having a baby sister. And then the story continues on where Soren tells stories about Hoole to his sister, and his father saying it's not a legend, it's real. To an owl, it's real. And Claude, the older brother, is like, it's not real. Well, he's not like that directly, but he gives me the feeling like he's like that. So one day, Soren has been pushed off the cliff. Bye, Soren. Oh, that's a tumble down. Soren fell, and he doesn't remember at this moment because he's in shock that he's on the ground. He sees Miss P up there trying to get him, but he doesn't remember after that. And then some random group of owls get him. As you can see, it's the only picture. Well, not the only picture, but for the storyline, it's the only picture / the picture that shows an action and not just the characters. Because as you can see, there's also characters in the book and how the characters look like. It doesn't show all of them, but most of them. There's also character bio at the back where it describes all the characters. Anyways, Soren gets captured. There's another bird owl next to him that's been carried by another owl, and they're like, oh my goodness, where are we going? And they just fly up, and then they land in this place called St. Aggie's. It's short for St. I can't say the long name. But I'll call it St. Aggie's. Here's the long name right here. Yeah, I can't say that one. So they get to this orphanage place for young owls, St. Aggie's. However, they aren't really orphans. They are just getting captured / owl napped by these other organization owls, and they are forced into labor. They are not allowed to fly. They have to sit and they have to sleep in the moon and not during the day, which is not what an owl is supposed to do. Also, before I continue on with the story, it's also funny how, like, instead of saying, like, nightmares, they say daymares, they say, like, good night, day night, and then at the end when they're saying, like, owl for one, and, wait, one for all, and all for one. Owl for one, and owl for all. I think I said it right. Anyways, they have to come to this place in the St. Aggie's. They have to like find little specks of flecks in the pellets, which are basically like magical things that are in pellets, and they have to like collect it somehow, even though they don't know what it is, and which brings the topic that they can't ask questions. If they get asked questions, they get plucked by their feathers. So then he meets his friend when he gets to St. Aggie. Well, not his friend yet, but he goes to St. Aggie's and he meets the person that was next to him while flying. And they have this like marching thing where like each night they are forced to march and say their names over and over again. And like if it was Soren, he would have to march and say Soren and Soren and Soren over and over again until they said stop. And then they said their number name once. So basically it's like saying like when they say it so many times, their old names, then it will become meaningless, but the new name, since they said it once, and then blah, 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 blah. So Soren and Gylfie, which is his friend, which is a girl as well, it's a dwarf owl, that's what she looks like. That's Gylfie. She is very smart. Soren is very smart. Together, they're even smarter, and they find a way to make sure they don't get moonblinked, which is like basically brainwashed, hypnotism. I don't know what else words to use for that one. They also and they also have to like they can't eat the good food, you know. They have to eat crickets, which an owl can't only eat crickets. They have to eat meat. So yeah. And Gylfie and Soren, their amazing smarts and stuff, like prevent them from getting moonblinked, but eventually they get figured out. But then when they were in this chamber where they had to get moonblinked, they told themselves about the stories of the Hoole, and for some reason that stopped them from getting moonblinked. And then they just pretend to be moonblinked, and they bought it. And the evil people are Skench, Sporen, which is Skench is like the overall evil person, like the mistress of the organization, and Sporen is the helper, and Jut and Jat are the ones that like capture the little ones. And I just ripped a page out of the book. That's great. I have to glue that back in later. I'm not going to tell the whole story because, well, the point is to read the book. If you want to read the book, it's fine. It's more like, it's too high fantasy, so I wouldn't, so if you like don't like high fantasy or something, you don't have to read it. But it's also like a little bit older, so I would recommend younger ages. But you can still read it if you want, and I think it's a pretty good book. I liked it, so hopefully you will too. And if you don't really like high fantasy, it's okay. You don't have to read it, but I like it. So what am I doing with my hands? I'm doing something. Anyways, then they find this girl. Her name is Hortense. I don't know if you pronounce the H or not, but I'm just going to say Hortense because that's how I've been saying it in my mind. And she's basically like, she looks like small, but she's not small. She's actually older, and she came in here as a spy. They thought that she was like perfectly moonblinked, like she was perfectly hypnotized, but she isn't, because she by consuming flecks, which is the magical things that they're finding. It can be like bad or good. And then she can't get moonblink, and she can't fly either because she's been plucking her feathers to look like she's not grown yet. But then she gets figured out, and then she gets thrown off the cliff, and she can't fly, so she unalives. And then they were like, oh my gosh, our plan is over. We're gonna die. So they were. Whatever. We're doomed. That's what they thought until they found what's his name again? Grimble. Oh yeah, Grimble. And then they find this other owl, Grimble, which he had a family and blah blah blah. You can read to find out his backstory. And then Grimble helped them, and then they were flying. And then Grimble at the end also unalives, and they flew away off into the distance where they meet Twilight and Digger. And Twilight is a giant owl. Digger is like a digging owl that lives in the desert. And then all four of them go to Hoole. And in the next book, The Journey, which I have here, which I'm going to read next, is where they go to Hoole. Oh, they also find Miss P, because at the end they found out that Clud was the one that pushed Soren, and Clud also pushed Eglantine, and Clud was so evil that he said, I'm craving snake today, and then tried to eat Miss P, but she got away. The parents knew this, of course, but they were very sad, so they moved, and blah, 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 blah. But now in the next book, they go on a journey to find the Hoole. And I saw a picture of Eglantine in the next book, so I think she's still alive. I hope she is. And Clud, I hope he's not. And the parents, I hope the parents are still there. And this is also the second book, if you were wondering, The Journey. And here's the picture of the other owls, the new owls. Don't look, guys. Don't look. It's a secret. You have to watch the next video to see. But this is the next book, The Journey. And I'm going to read this. And I hopefully they find the river of Hoole, or the tree, or whatever it was. I think it was a tree. When I'm done with this book, I am going to make a book review on it as well. So you can wait for that. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.